We're here to speak to you today about the Holy Church of Peepo.
I have a cat butt in my ear.
Hey everybody, this week we are here to talk about Kingdom Rush. And this will be the first one we heavily disagree on as far as I can tell, so why don't you introduce it this week?
I mean, it's a tower defense game. It has a leveling system outside of the levels. I'm bad at explaining it. You explain it, I'll explain my deviations from it. I'm bad at explaining each of these games.
Kingdom Rush is a tower defense game that allows you to build, instead of taking towers of types and putting them on types of terrain, like most tower defense games, it has specific spots. Yeah. Most tower defense games, in my experience, are you build a tower where you want to, and you may or may not have a choice of what it is.
Whereas most I'm used to are, here is where you can build towers with a couple deviations. What towers do you put where for maximum effect?
Right. This is here's where you can put the towers. What type do you want them? It costs money, it costs a lot of money, and then it costs a lot more money to upgrade them, and there are 4 types of towers. You've got your knights, which come out to a rallying point around the tower, and they stand there and they rather uselessly fight things.
They're more important to keep things from moving.
You have archers, which stay at their tower and shoot things at a range.
Quick damage, but not a lot of it.
Mages, which are crappier archers.
Slower, but hit harder. Also, magic damage versus physical.
The trade-off for hitting harder for how much slower they are, not worth it. And with everything that completely ignores magic damage versus just resists physical damage, not worth it to build mage towers.
It's about the same once you get later in the game. The spiders completely ignore magic. Half of the high-level units completely ignore physical.
But you can get things that negate ignoring physical. You don't get things that negate ignoring magic.
Yes, you do.
Not that I got.
One of the mage tower upgrades is it shreds magic resist every time it hits.
I guess.
Also, wizard's towers, teleportation makes everything easier.
Oh, yes it does!
Furthermore, the golem is the best blocker ever, although the sheep is useless. Sheep is useless. I've been killed by more sheep than I care to admit. That is not a phrase that I ever expected to say.
And then the bombardment, which lost
splash damage.
Explosive shells and any splash damage.
In my
Kitty,
experience,
what is your obsession with my Lego figure?
The most overpriced.
Overpriced.
It never does enough for
and the
its effect.
splash damage is so small. It feels so insignificant. Meow. Put it on the ground. Let her just play with it.
She doesn't want to. It goes down here.
The splash damage, maybe it's just how it feels, but it's so tiny and insignificant that I can't say it's worth building those towers. Unless they're standing, like, on each other like this.
Which, granted, is what's going to happen later into the game.
But sometimes, but all the rest of the time, if they're even standing like this...
It doesn't feel like it's hitting anything but one, yeah.
If it lands dead center on his head, it probably won't really hit me. So that's a little bit pointless.
I mean, is one of the upgrades pretty solid on it? Yes. But is it worth the effort to get there? Probably not.
And that's the thing, you have to buy it, and it's so expensive, then you gotta upgrade it, and then you gotta upgrade it again.
And then again, and then you can pay money to get the abilities on it.
Right, sorry, 4th upgrade, then pay the money to get the abilities, and then it's good. But you've spent so much money into it by then.
You could have just got a musketeer.
Yeah. It's like saying, well, if
musketeer
I spend enough
and a wizard
money...
is my solid back row that let me through most of it.
Right. It's like saying, oh, if I spend enough money and time, maybe I can get into professional baseball. But you're spending so much money and time that it'd be cheaper to just buy your own professional team. The final mechanic is the hero. You purchase a hero using the upgrade points. And then... Okay, you're going to explain how the hero works for you after, because you played it on your phone, didn't you?
No. You were playing Kingdom Rush, not Kingdom Rush 2, right?
Yes.
Kingdom Rush doesn't have a hero unless you buy it.
It has 3 heroes without buying.
I didn't use any of them. I've never used any of them.
Well, here's what I ran into. You can buy the hero using the same upgrade points, but there's only 3 heroes because the game the whole time is trying to shove its purchased version down your throat. Man, that was so much fun. So much fun and enjoyment.
For me, the heroes, there was a button down by the premium content button on the map screen. That was the only time either were mentioned.
It took me a while to find out you could buy one of those 3 basic heroes. And at that point, I only found out because the game had hit a point of ball-bustingly, teeth-grindingly, frustratingly difficult. Like, I could do everything perfectly, and I was losing. And I'm not bad at tower defense games. I'm really good at tower defense games. We both are. And yet I was just, you lose, you lose, you lose. Good day, sir. Don't care. And I'd been 3-starring out of 3. Everything up until that point.
What button was that for you?
2, 3, 4. The one that was straight up on the map and slightly to the right. As you're working your way across the map.
Type of structure. Had you fought one of the bosses yet?
I fought bosses, yeah.
Were you in Iceland, Necromancer
The
Land?
mountains.
I'm still feeling like you were playing too.
Where they would enter the caves and come out the other caves.
Iceland.
Yes. I was at the end of Iceland.
The one with the sun tower? Bottom right corner, you use 100 gold to get a little sun base to charge up the tower.
I hadn't made it to there yet.
Alright, so...
I was near the end of it.
Yeah, I think I was still 3-starring those that hero perfectly fine.
Yeah, I couldn't even beat them without a hero. Even remotely. So then I found out I could get a hero, but here's the thing, you can't upgrade your towers because the hero costs so many stars. So then I'm trying to deal with it, and I got further with the hero, that's how I got to the end of it, and then I just continued to die because nothing would actually work. The game wasn't good. It isn't a good tower defense game. It's not well put together. It's completely unbalanced. Your towers feel like they're having no effect whatsoever, and your upgrades feel like they're just doing things, supposedly, that, oh, it's doing this. It doesn't feel like it's doing that. It doesn't feel like your upgrades had any impact on the game whatsoever.
I mean, I'm not having any of these issues you said. I could always feel the impact of... I mean, a level 1 tower probably wouldn't feel too much impact, but once you got to 2, even 3, you could definitely see what it was doing.
No, I mean upgrades is on the upgrade screen.
True, those...
Your permanent upgrades just felt woefully underwhelming.
For the most part, yeah. The ones that decrease price, definitely all of the upgrades to reinforcements were definitely feelable.
Even then, reinforcements just died in one hit. I deliberately upgraded reinforcements all the way, max level on reinforcements, and it was
Unless
still...
you were sending them against Yetis or Bandits, they were fine.
Even then, I would just set them down against anything. I set them down against basic wolves, and they basically just went,
Wolves are
I'm
great
dead.
to take down units.
Everything. Spiders, wolves, bandits, yetis, everything except for gargoyles because those flew overhead. Knights all just wrecked them without a pause.
Mine effectively blocked most of the time.
And I couldn't place enough of them because even when you would place them, they just despawn so fast.
12 seconds later?
No.
Yeah!
Then 12 seconds is less meaningful than I thought because I would place them down as a wave started coming in, and by the time the wave hit where they were going, they were gone.
I could regularly get 2 of them on the map without using the speed up the next wave mechanic.
I never used the speed up the next wave mechanic.
I used it like every wave.
I couldn't because as soon as I hit 20, 30, maybe 20 or 30% of the way through the game, as soon as I pressed that speed up the game button, it went, oh, here's another wave. And because of the way that the defensive towers were built, where they stop everything, and because the damage towers don't put out enough damage to actually kill them as they're going past, I couldn't win anymore because they just walked right past my defensive stuff and my damage towers went, I don't see nothing, I'm already shooting this guy. Bye, you lose.
Again, I was always annoyed by the fact that they insist on targeting the farthest away thing even if something else would get it, instead of staying on one thing sometimes.
I don't know how we had completely different experiences with the same game, but this was a faulty piece of crap. I couldn't bring in reinforcements because it was a guaranteed loss if I reinforced early. Guaranteed.
It could be the style where we're used to of them, where you were expecting the mechanics from the I can place towers where I want. I'm more used to this style, so maybe it's slightly different.
That's the thing. I changed my tactics for this game. I played with the new style. I played in a completely different style from what I normally do. Because my style, I tried it the first one and I lost on the first map with my style.
Fair enough.
So I changed my style to what worked, and I tried every possible way I could think of to play, and I still was just losing.
I don't know. As I said, I had none of these issues. There were a couple where I went, alright, I need to do this better, but other than that, no, I was fine.
Between how insanely ridiculous and unbalanced it was, and just constantly trying to shove the premium content down your throat. Look, I get that you have premium content. You're a Flash game. I'm getting a game for free because it's a Flash game. If you want to say you have premium content, fine. But then when you look at what that premium content is, did you look at what you got?
No, because as I said, it was one reasonably small button on the main map. That
No,
was all.
it wasn't!
That was all it was for me.
Every time I went into menus, premium content, get more stars. Everywhere. It was all... Oh, where did you play it?
Congregate.
Yeah, on Armor Games, it is everywhere. All over the page. In your face.
Yeah, I had none of those issues. It was right down by the upgrades. There was Hero Room, premium content. Same size buttons all across the three of them.
The premium content button is bigger for starters, and then when you go into the Hero Room, everything is premium content. And when you go into upgrades... And when you go into upgrades... There's more buttons for premium content, there's get more stars, there's this little infographic thing. Even on the main page, you'll sometimes just get a pop-up that's, hey, get more stars.
I remember that in 2, but not in 1.
It was in 1, I was playing 1.
I'm just saying, I remember that from when I played through 2, but 1, I have described to you what they had for premium content advertisements in 1.
But they're like, well, what do you get? I was fine. What do you get for premium content? Because they were originally making it sound like, hey, if you log in on Armor Games, then you get premium content. And I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. So I logged in and they're like, hey, now give us money. Your game needs to be worth me giving you money first. Which it wasn't. Well, what do you get? You get a whole entire another recruit. Like another reinforced unit.
For a total of 3?
You get 3 reinforcement units, and each reinforcement unit has 3 people in it instead of 2. You get a whole bunch of stars for free, so that you could upgrade things. You get the heroes, but it seemed like different heroes cost extra. And you got a couple more maps. Which, a couple more maps, that's fine. I'm fine with paying for that. But that is literally paying to unlock the actual difficulty mode of the game. I am paying to get enough stars to actually have any impact on my tower's upgrade or to buy a hero. I am paying to have enough reinforcements, and the extra person in the reinforcements makes a world of difference.
Like, what do you mean extra reinforcements? It's just a 10-second cooldown on the 2 people reinforcement.
No, like, you have another reinforcement, a third person, and it drops the cooldown. Like, you know how you can hold the 2 charges of it?
No.
Yes.
No.
Or no, not charges. It drops some part of the cooldown or something.
The only time cooldown drops is when you call in early. Are you saying it would reduce the cooldown of it in general?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, I never looked at premium content.
Yeah.
I never really felt the need to.
So everything's going to be easier if I buy premium content. So what you're telling me is that this is the real version of how this game's difficulty is supposed to be, and that's why it's punishingly brutal?
I didn't think it was even.
It is!
Only mission I didn't beat was the last one in the game, and that's because I didn't feel like going through and doing all of the challenge modes.
I could not disagree more. I would say don't touch this game. I appreciate that you have premium content. I understand why. You're a Flash game developer. Premium content is probably the only way you can make money off this. I don't really know how Flash game developers make their money. They may not. They may be just doing it out of the goodness of their heart and they never make money, and this is a chance for these people to make money out of this game that they did clearly spend a lot of time and work on, and it's got unique art and an interesting cartoony style. But that does not change that it was implemented poorly, it was shoved in my face, and it all had actual effects on gameplay. If you want to say premium content, get these extra heroes, fine. If you want to say premium content, here's more maps if you really liked the rest of the game, fine. Maybe a new type of tower, fine. But that's not what you did. Maybe if you love tower defense games, give it a look. You might enjoy it like him, but I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
I found it difficult, but reasonable, nothing really out of the way. You definitely, to beat the last level, do have to go through, do the challenge modes, or pay for premium content, I suppose. As I said, never looked at it. I knew I'd never really cared about it the first time I beat the game, so I wasn't too worried about it even looking at it this time. I, as I said, didn't even know heroes were a thing. I thought that was introduced in the second one. I do remember thinking the second was unnecessarily difficult.
Who knows?
But that might be because I was terrible at using the hero.
What I said stands. If I did play the second, then I guess I've wasted your time, and you got a review of both the first and the second today, so we won't have to come back and review the second, which if that was the second, huzzah! So until our next episode, have a good week.